My name is Levy. This is my story on my own words. I ran away from my parents' place when I was in grade 7. Then I started staying in streets for about 6 years. Life in the street was not easy, it was difficult. We faced a lot of hardships in the streets, and for me, I have no future, I have no any other plans that life will change. There was a prominent businessman who wanted to pay school fees for me, from grade 7. I wanted to go to Form 3. I was going night school for about 3 months. But in the morning, I could look after cars, and then in the evening, go to school. But it was not coping up. It was hard for me because I thought maybe I'm not even good at education. So I only went to school up to grade 7. So from that time, I met another man again when I was in the streets. Then I told you, sir, I want to sell your goods. This guy was a very big shop in Harare, selling type of goods, computers, and a lot of stuff. Then he said to me, are you sure you want to sell my goods? I said, yes, sir. I can sell all your goods. But that time, I didn't have any certificate. I only have grade 7 certificate. That's all I had by that time. And then he said to me, no, I'll see you when I come back. That was 2005. My first job, I started just selling CDs in the streets, and then waiting for him to come back so that he can give me that job. Then when he came back, he said to me, young man, I want you to be my marketing manager for this company. I was surprised because with grade 7, you cannot manage anyone. That's what people think. But from that time, I managed to do big projects, like I was the head of marketing. I could even manage people who've got degrees, certificates, and I didn't have anything like that will support my knowledge. So later on, that's where I began to go to church. And then this other time, I had an opportunity to hear someone playing on his phone a message by Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa, which was saying, Gorerino. So I said, who is this man? These declarations are so powerful, but what do I do to be part of this church? And then that's where I had the opportunity to meet the man of God. With all what I heard from people, that this man is so powerful, his teachings are so powerful. To me, I saw him as a businessman because what I wanted was, I wanted something. Because that time I wanted to go to school and I wanted to buy a computer. And then I said, man of God, I want to go to school. I want to buy a laptop. Can you help me to buy these things? That time, that's the only thing I thought in my mind I should get, because after staying in the street, I had an idea that I want to be a graphic designer. I want to be a marketer. So I really need these things because I was working but not getting paid enough money. Within 2 days, someone from Netherlands just phoned me that, Levy, we're going to give you a birthday present, which is money. I don't know how you're going to do it. And then I used that money to buy a laptop. And I just started graphic design for 1 week with that money. So in my mind, I said, how can these things happen in a short space of time? I asked for a computer to this man of God, but someone abroad is thinking of me. I didn't believe in miracles, and when I went to UFIC, when the prophet of God, Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa, was preaching about how to recover your ex, he said, this is the right time, and this is the turnaround of your life. From that time, I began to be a UFIC member. Every Sunday I could come and listening to different type of teaching that the prophet of God was preaching, and I could saw miracles happening. That was life. And I believed that, no. This is not fake, this is real. So from that time, 2015, on a crossover night, that's where he picked me, giving a prophetic word. He said, sir, I see you going to China. January, February, March, April, I don't want to see you here. That time, I begin to cry. What is it? I begin to cry, even explain proper, because China, grade 7 to China, how is that possible? And he said, April, I don't want to see you here because I see you bringing containers. And, before I had the idea that I had of buying another machine. So I just wrote it down in my book that I want to buy this machine. I have quite a number of machines that I wanted to buy. But the first machine that I wanted to buy, as time goes on, I begin to believe, and I bought a flag of China that I say to myself, China, here I come, with the prophetic word. China, here I come. Like every day, I could declare, China, here I come. You know, when comes the right time, I was almost 5 days left, and there was no money. I didn't have any cent to buy the air ticket and what. But within some days, I saw miracles happening. I managed to have money to buy the air ticket. And I applied for the visa. I was given the visa. And the time came for me to go to China. I went to China, my first time in history. When I was in the plane, I began to pray, to thank God. So the guy was next to me. He thought maybe I'm afraid that the plane is going to disappear. But I was just praying to thanking God. God, with that grade 7, how is that possible? Now I'm in the plane and I'm enjoying life. I want to thank you. This was not easy for me. So when I got to China at the airport, it's hard for you, first time, no one to help you, even to go to your hotel room. Chinese, sometimes, some of them, they don't speak proper English. I was asking them, do you know this place? They'll just say, me no. For about 6 hours, I couldn't find my hotel room. And then after I said, God of Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa, I'm tired. Within minutes, I was directed to the right place that I was looking for all these hours. I got at the place. Then I only had $120 because when I left Zimbabwe, I didn't have any money. I only have $120. People said, no, how could you go to China with $120? Just wait, gather much more money so that you go and bring stuff. And I said, no, you know what? The prophet of God says, I don't want to see you here. That's the reason why I'm going to China. So another Chinese guy directed me to another hotel, which was going for $100 per night. And I only had $120 in my pocket. So I paid 600 yuan. I thought maybe it's enough because I had 1,000 yuan that time. So the following morning, I asked someone, how much is 600 yuan? They said, bruh, it's $100. I said, what? How can I sleep? I only have $100 and then I'm sleeping in a hotel for $100 per night. I asked someone to help me to check around and they said, no, you need to pay $50 per day for me to show you around China and stuff. But I believe that the God of my father who took me to China, Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa, would do wonders. I begin to travel around China. And the trains in China, the subway, they are very difficult. The names of the places are written in Chinese and it's hard for you to understand. I tried to communicate home with other people. Then I was sent money. Then I got a hotel for $23 per night. So when I was in the subway, I met another white guy from Australia. He had traveled to China for the expo. It's for buyers. Whereby international buyers come and buy stuff from China and then ship them to their countries. So he asked me, he said, this is Canton Fair, my brother. Don't you know about this? I said, no, I don't even know. What is it all about? He said, it happens every year on the 15th of May to 23rd. So that's why it's rang in my mind that, this is Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa. He was directing me to come and buy stuff here. By that time, I didn't have any money. So I was given a tag, written a buyer, international buyer. I went to different places. I think I came back home with about 4 tags written buyer. So when I went to the place, to the expo, and I met another Chinese guy, and then I said, I'm looking for this machine. I want to buy this machine. But that time I didn't have money. And then he said, okay, no, the machine is going for this much. And then I said, no, it's okay. Just give me the quotation. I'll come and buy it very soon. I only have confidence in myself that I will buy because I remember the sermon that prophet preached that if you have any difficulties in your life, this sermon, how to recover your ex, is your turning point. God is going to do wonders for you. So I begin to think of those words when I was in China that my father, Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa, said about this. So, after I stayed in China, my first time, I went back home. I didn't buy any machine. I was only carrying some tags written buyer, but I didn't bring anything home. And then when I went back to work, because I had asked them to give me leave days. They refused. Then I said, no, I'm just going. I'll see you when I come back. So when I came back, they said, no, you didn't follow company laws, so it's not good. So I was dismissed from work. So, and then I remembered Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa preaching also that sometimes I can make you to lose your job so that you can start your own things. I was working for a Chinese company, so they didn't want people to go to China. What they believe is, you know, as a black person, you can only ask for leave days to go to Zimba, you know, Gokwe and other areas. But to go to China, they didn't want that because to them, they don't want that. And then it took time for them to give me my money. Like for all these years I've worked for this company. And then later on, I kept on praying and believing that my money, I'll get it. And then they phoned me that, you can come and get your money. After a few days in October, and then I went back again to China to buy that machine that I wanted to buy. The second time was fantastic because I had now confidence and I had idea of how things in life can change, because I was only remembering my father saying, this is your turning point if you have difficulties in life. So I thought more of, I went to school up to grade 7 and I didn't have, you know, when I left streets, it was hard for me. I was thinking of my background, you know, when we are now under this covering of Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa, you know, life begin to change. I can say UFIC is a movement because every steps, if you saw me when I was, before I came to UFIC, it was not well for me. And things were so hard and I didn't have even confidence even to speak this English because I had confidence of listening to my father every time. Because grade 7, you cannot speak this fluent English. And I'm happy because I'm learning other languages also. I'm learning Portuguese and also I'm learning Chinese. Because of the father, I get confidence because of my father, Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa. So when I went to China, I bought the machine. I came back with the machine and I registered my company. I do branding and designing. And I've got all the registered papers because the prophet of God always saying that you have to be organized. You know, register your companies. Register. Don't be afraid to start things. You know, I used to work for someone, but now I'm now doing my own business. And I don't believe that this is the only business because he said on the prophetic word, you wanted to start a clothing company, which was, that was the idea that I had from long back, you know, a clothing company that will support, you know, underprivileged. So through the grace of our father, Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa, I also started a children's home that is called Unto Him Foundation. When I started this organization, I didn't have much idea about how I was supposed to do it. But when I came to FIC, I saw thousands of people that are getting help from the prophets of God, Prophet Ruth and Emmanuel Makandiwa, under Agape Family Care. So I said, I want to be part of this ministry because it's now give me opportunity to help others, because there was no one going to tell me that there's a proper way you need to do. I just thought maybe giving clothes is enough, but we really need a covering in everything that we do. I want to take this opportunity to thank my father, Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa and Mama Ruth Makandiwa, for the covering. In short, I can just say I'm learning these languages. Very soon, I know by your grace, I'll be able to interpret these languages. So I can just say to viewers who are all over the world, if you are in Portugal, Mozambique, Profeta Emmanuel Makandiwa, a grande profeta de Deus. I was just saying, viewers all over the world, if you are seeing Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa, is a great prophet of God. You need to come and hear what this man is doing in this world.